Well, we're picking back up on our elderberry project. If you followed us on the other channel, you saw us begin this project about a year ago. If you're new to this channel, you saw the re-upload a few weeks ago. But essentially, the short version of the story is this. In 2020, a lot of things happened, right? But one of the things that may have been off your radar was there was an elderberry shortage, in the sense that everyone was buying them. When I went to go buy one, I couldn't find one anywhere. Like, all the nurseries that normally would sell elderberries were slam out, because everybody was buying them because, man, they do have medicinal purposes, particularly when it comes to building up your immune system. And so with all that was going on in 2020, a lot of people wanted their immune system being built up. And so I went on an elderberry forum on Facebook, and I said to them, guys, is it me or am I crazy that there's no elderberries anywhere? And they're like, yeah, we're all slam out. But this one guy said, hey, where do you live? And he was able to pull up my coordinates on Google Maps, find elderberry bushes in a local park, and said, hey, there's some wild elderberries in a park nearby your house. Go over there, get some cuttings. So we got some cuttings. We got a bunch of cuttings that day, didn't we?
Yeah.
We got a ton of them. And so the elderberry project began that way, and then we started the cuttings off in water. And then after I uploaded my first video, a couple people said, hey, you should cut this down a little bit more. And so then we had cuttings off of our cuttings. Well, we went on vacation, and some of the elderberries didn't make it on our vacation, but we had cuttings off of our cuttings. So we totally rescued our project from the cuttings of the cuttings. And so we got this guy right here, he's one of the original cuttings. He was big and tall, strong. He's growing like crazy.
He's the best one.
He's the best one for sure. This one right here was a cutting from one of our cuttings. If you look in there, you see he's got like this main stem that was the cutting itself, but then it's got like all like the little, I guess they call them copuses, they're coming off the side. Now this little fella right here, he actually was, all right, see where it goes from brown to green? We actually broke one of those guys off and put him in the water and started his roots, and that started growing, and then it wilted, and I just, said, hey, I bet there's a root ball in there somewhere that's still alive. And sure enough, this spring, this guy popped up. So we've got 3 elderberry bushes. We're gonna plant, I'll show you where we're gonna plant it here in a moment. But one of the traditional locations of elderberries on homesteads is next to the chicken coop. All right, so this is our broody barn right here. So it's got the downward slant right there. I ran the rototiller through here and tilled this whole area up. Not only are we gonna plant the elderberries here, but we're also gonna plant some flowers and various other things. The girls wanna make their own little garden over here. But it's got the slant coming down, it's near the chickens. It's an area where we're gonna be having water anyway. So we're gonna plant them right along in here. We don't know how long we're gonna live here. We rent this place. We're signing a new lease for another year. But we're looking to buy our own land soon. But I told my wife, I was like, you know what, I can go ahead and plant these trees, because we dug them up once before, we can dig them up again, right?
Yeah. And
so we'll just let these things grow this season here, and then we'll take them with us when we go. So let's get to digging. Are you gonna dig, or are you just gonna watch me?
I'll
dig. All right, let's do it.
Cue the time lapse in the 6 beats.
All right, so one thing to point out was we planted this butterfly bush right here that I didn't show you guys earlier in the video. You may have seen that we planted a 4th elderberry bush over here. Remember the one I mentioned was copacine earlier? Well, when I took it out of the dirt, I realized it was 2 different plants. So we got one there, and then the big boy down there. Well, I don't know how soon these guys will be fruiting, but we'll at least grow them a little bit more this year. Get them a little bit taller, a little bit bigger. But hey, update on the elderberry project. It's working out great.
God bless you, and go take your mountain.